Most of the times the people that are doing, yeah, most of the times the doctors that I've seen, working in this area, what they're doing is all kinds of different techniques to ultimately cover symptoms. And that's it. Nobody I've found yet, except for you guys, are truly getting at the root cause. And even a doctor I know who says she was going, that they would get at the root cause, all they do is put people in remission, thinking that it's the root cause, thinking that they've solved their problem. And it's not. And then thankfully, before I, came to you, I've met and talked with them and asked, straight on, okay, is this just putting things in remission or is it getting it taken care of? And they really didn't give me an answer that was straightforward. So I knew that it was, they knew that it was not getting to the root, but they didn't know what it was, And so when I ran across you, I remember the first time I watched you was back in November, the amount I spent on supplements, I'm like, man, ridiculous. This is costing me way more. I'm glad she didn't charge me again because, but she knew I wasn't getting better. And then my results came back on the TPO and it actually went up by 5 points from like 3,002 to 3,008 or something like that. So nothing changed, There was a few little indicators that seemed like it was getting better.
Yeah, so I think there's two issues. Is number one is maybe they don't really know how to get people in remission. Yeah. And then number two, they just focus on supplements. Again, people can also overdose on supplements, and they don't fix the problem because then you can't create healthy cells out of taking a bunch of supplements.
Yeah, you're only as good as your teacher. I always say, so if they're trained by people who are teaching the same thing, they're not going to know any different. I don't hold them to blame. I just say, that's showing just their knowledge isn't there. What you're doing is helping people get free from their disease, as opposed to keeping them just stabilized or just like hospitals do the same thing, or doctors do. They just keep a person existing and keeping the money flow going, because they know if they heal somebody, they're never going to see him again, or may never see him except to say hi. That's not going to produce money, long term. So I love what you're doing. I really do. I mean, and there's multiple reasons why, and it just keeps getting confirmed more and more. So, but I love the analogies of how it's tied together with spirituality and so forth, the correct spirituality, because there's tons of them. I know that I've had symptoms for Hashimoto's since at least 2000, because that's when my weight rapidly increased, went from like 127 to 150 in like 6-7 weeks. And I had a goiter like crazy, but I didn't know what any of that was at that time.